Hello everyone, welcome to biology. Today is our lecture number 18 and my dear student, we are learning chapter 7 evolution. So my dear student, already we came to know about theories of organic evolution. Okay, so I hope that all of you are making notes of biology and whatever videos are provided, you are making notes of it, right? Okay, so my dear student, so what are chromosome? Last year we learned about chromosome. So chromosome are cell organelles. Okay, so these chromosomes are found inside the nucleus of the cell, and in human being, okay, in human cell the number of chromosome is 46, that means 23 pair. So they occurs in pair. Why they occurs in pair? Because one of chromosome we receive from mother and another from father, and likewise what happen, it occurs in pairs. Okay, so about this also we learned in cell division that why this pairing of chromosome have occur. Okay, so my dear student, we know that chromosomes occur in pair. So structures of chromosome also you know. Yes. Okay, now my dear student, these chromosomes are made up of gene. Okay, and genes are responsible for characters that are found in our body or in any organism body. For example, color of our eye. Okay, this is a character of our body. Then about our color of skin, then hair, okay, pattern of hair, color of hair. So different characters, these are what happen, these are actually controlled by whom? Gene. Okay, and in chromosome genes are there. Okay, and these genes, what happen, the genes as chromosome are in pair, so gene also are in pair. Now in here these are known as locus. Okay, so in chromosome you will find locus. So that means in here also what happen, if a gene is there, for example color of our hair, that means black, then this gene we got from father and another from mother. So if it is BB, so the locus what happen here, if the color of the hair is indicated, so the opposite one also it will indicate. So these are known as locus. Now gene are carrying the character. Okay, now gene have this, okay, one chromosome have this, if we indicate it as a B, okay, genotype. If you say the genotype, so genotype means the gene makeup. Okay, so here this symbol, okay, capital B, capital B, these are known as alleles. Okay, so my dear student, these are known as alleles. Now if both indicate capital B, that means the person will have black color. So black color hair, that is the character, and that character is controlled by whom? Gene, and the gene has some we may say some position, okay, position of the genes, and both the chromosome have that character. Okay, so that character, the genotype will indicate by this letter. So in the chapter genetics we will learn details about what are alleles and what are genes. Okay, then chromosome pairing and different. So for timing, just you listen that what are alleles. So for example, if some chromosome, okay, have capital B and small b, that means from father they are getting the black color and small b indicates the brown color, then what will write, then the allele will be capital B small b. So that a person will have black color, but this brown color will be recessive. That means capital B is dominant, because of which black color will be expressed, whereas small b it is recessive, so it will remain covered, so it cannot be expressed. So whenever this indication, okay, so can you see the thing which is expressed, okay, these are known as phenotype, which we can see by our eyes, the appearance one. But who are responsible for that? That are alleles. Okay, so we will say that capital B, here some letter we are using, so these are known as alleles or genotype, who are actually controlling that property, that character. Okay, so chromosome, this all position, the genes have this kind of we can say alleles which are responsible, or genotype which are responsible for our different character. Okay, so my dear student, today we are going to learn about Hardy-Weinberg principle. So Hardy-Weinberg principle, what does it says? In a given population, one can find out the frequency of occurrence. Okay, frequency of occurrence means the percentage of occurrence of alleles of a gene or a locus. So alleles of a gene, you understood that locus. Okay, so both the chromosome will have the same locus, and they will have some property to control that character. Okay, so in a given population, one can find out the frequency of occurrence of alleles of a gene. So what are the different alleles, what are the frequency of occurrence of alleles in a population, one can find out. And this frequency is supposed to remain fixed and even remain the same through the generation. And this frequency is supposed to remain fixed, okay, and even remain the same through generation. So this frequency, what happen, it is fixed. And for example, we know that the number of that chromosome, okay, in human being it is 46, and as the number of chromosomes are same, that means in that genes, whatever characters or whatever alleles are there, they will be also in pair, and the number will be same. So it is fixed, and in next generation also, if somebody is getting the that will be also same. So Hardy-Weinberg principle states it using algebraic equations. So Hardy and Weinberg, they try to explain it through algebraic equation. So Hardy-Weinberg principle states that allele frequency in a population are stable and is constant from one generation to the next generation. Okay, so my dear student, Hardy-Weinberg principle states that allele frequency, that means allele percentage in a population, are stable and is constant. Okay, so allele percentage is constant and it remain constant from one generation to the next. So allele percentage is never been disturbed, it is always constant in a population. Okay, so you understood. So allele frequency means you can consider it as a percentage. Okay, so allele percentage in a population, what happen, they are always stable and it is constant, and from one generation to the next, what happen, they are same. Understood? Because of which, what happen, in human population you will find that from one generation to the next, human beings are been produced and they are developed, isn't it? There will be some variation, but human beings are human beings. So it is said that these are alleles are stable and is constant from one generation to the next. So my dear student, the gene pool. So what do you mean by gene pool? Total genes and their allele in a population. So if you consider total gene and their alleles, okay, so total gene and alleles in a population. So when we considered a population, that means there will be number of individuals, a group of individuals will be there. So in them, if you consider the total genes and their alleles that are present, then that is known as gene pool. So it is said that the gene pool remain a constant, and this is called genetic equilibrium. And it is said that according to Hardy-Weinberg principle, the gene pool also remain constant. That means total number of genes and their alleles in a population also remain constant, and this is known as genetic equilibrium. Now my dear student, genetic equilibrium is a state which provides a baseline to measure genetic change. So genetic equilibrium provide us a baseline to measure genetic change, whether any genetic changes have occurred in a population or not. Who will give us that indication? Genetic equilibrium. If the gene pool remain constant, that means there is no any changes in genetic, there is no any genetic changes. But if the genetic equilibrium somehow it is disturbed, then we can say that in that population some genetic changes have occurred. Okay, so Hardy-Wingberg principle actually they states that alleles frequency in a population are stable and is constant from one generation to the next. The gene pool also remain constant. Okay, that means genetic equilibrium is always attained, and it is gene pool is constant. So now if some disturbance occur in genetic equilibrium, that means in gene pool, then only there is a chance of evolution. That means there is a chance of any changes in among the organism in a population. Okay, my dear student. So sum total of all allelic frequency is 1. Example in diploid. Okay, so my dear student, they said that sum total of all the allelic frequency is always 1. So how it is always 1? So in a diploid, what happened? They said the sum total of all the allelic frequency. That means in a population, whatever allelic percentage are found, it is always equal to 1. Example in diploid. The principle can be represented mathematically as follows. So it is said that Hardy-Wingberg principle can be represented mathematically. So it is expressed in this form: p plus q to the whole square is equal to p square plus twice pq plus q square is equal to 1. So this is the expression, mathematical expression of Hardy-Wingberg principle. So please note down it properly. Okay. So my dear student, P represent percentage of dominant allele. Okay. For example, you can consider an example that in a population, okay, so in a population you consider that some allele. Okay, so allele we are considering capital B, it indicates black color or just color of hair you considered. Okay, so black color, you consider that P is the percentage of that black color dominant one. Okay, capital B. Then my dear student, Q represent percentage of recessive allele. That means brown color, you may consider brown color. So brown color is recessive, because of which sometime if it comes with black color, then what happen? It will remain dominant and black color will be expressed. Okay, so dominant one will be expressed, which we can see, and recessive one, what happen? It will be remain hidden, we cannot see. So likewise, what happened here in this equation, P represent always the percentage of dominant allele in a population, and Q always represent the percentage of recessive allele. Okay, therefore P square will be percentage of homozygous dominant individual. So P square means homozygous dominant individual. Homozygous means you can consider homozygous means if we are writing two allele, okay, a gene responsible for one character, for example black. Okay, that means if we are writing capital B, then these are known as homozygous. Okay, so capital B, they indicate dominant, and this if we are writing both the in allele in capital B form, then these are known as homozygous dominant individual. That means they have the pure dominant character. Okay, then Q square percentage of homozygous recessive individual. That means if you are writing brown, okay, and for brown color small b, Okay, so small b from for brown color, and they are homozygous recessive individual. So individual having pure blue color. Okay, so my dear student, about homozygous dominant and homozygous recessive we will learn in the chapter genetics, and that time the thing will be more clear. Okay, so for time being you just consider that homozygous dominant means completely dominant character. Okay, and homozygous recessive means it is totally recessive one. Okay, so PQ is the percentage of heterozygous. So if we are writing capital B and small b, then this form is known as heterozygous. Okay, so if any individual have that composition of alleles, then we'll consider it as a percentage of homozygous individual. Okay, my dear student, so you understood P represent the dominant allele, Q represent the recessive allele, P square represent the homozygous dominant individuals, Q square represent the homozygous recessive individuals, and PQ represent the heterozygous individual. Okay. Then my dear student, difference in values of PQ and PQ indicate the extent of evolutionary change. So it is said that if PQ and PQ, these values somehow shows differences, okay, then only there will be evolution. There is a chance of evolution. So the differences in values of PQ and PQ indicates the extent of evolutionary change. A disturbance in equilibrium, okay, genetic equilibrium or Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium, that is change of frequency of alleles in a population, would then be interpreted as accumulation or change in variation results in evolution. So evolution will occur when genetic equilibrium is disturbed. Okay, then Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium is disturbed. Now if p square plus 2pq plus q square is not equal to 1, okay, if somehow it is seen, then what happen? There will be evolution. So that's Hardy-Weinberg principle. In this way, with the help of their algebraic equation, they describe how in environment or how evolution may occur if the genetic equilibrium is disturbed. So this is a short description about Hardy-Weinberg principle. Okay, so I hope that you have understood. So next class we will talk about the factors which are affecting Hardy-Weinberg principle. So thank you and have a good day.